Shields up, Iron Breakers, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Cast. I'm here with FightinCowboy. How are you doing, sir?
Fantastic.
So, we've recently had two games that come across our usual coverage. And these are two games that, strangely enough, all took the same kind of leap in going open world. And, yeah, I guess we could say one of those did really, really well, and the other one not so much.
The other one not so much.
It's been a strange start of the year, but yeah, obviously we're talking about Code Vein 2 and Nioh 3. I guess we'll start things off with Code Vein 2, considering that that is the first one that came out. How'd you like Code Vein 2, Cowboy?
The way I've been describing it to people is that it's not a terrible game, but it's not a very good game either. It is very, very average. And I think that, like, I mean, if it was a slow period, like, honestly, if it had released back in, say, December or the start of January when there wasn't a lot going on, I probably would have been like, yeah, why not? Let's play through the whole thing. But it releasing right on top of Nioh 3 might as well have been a death sentence.
I just feel like whenever you're describing your feelings on a video game, if the first words coming out of your mouth is, it's not a terrible video game. It's like, it is a little bit of a rough description. It's not terrible. It's not amazing either. Like in my video, I said it's a mixed bag. There are definitely things that I like about it, but there's a lot more that I ended up not liking about it, which made me sad because, you know, I wanted to jump in and I wanted to be excited for it, but it was. I mean,
I loved the first game. I did a full walkthrough for the first game. It was, you know, arcadey Souls, but it was fun enough. And honestly, I think the shift to open world was just an outright detriment to the game. I think it was a terrible decision because the open world in particular for Code Vein 2, like, that has been probably one of the least enjoyable open worlds to explore. There's a lot of times where you're just, you know, you get off the starter island and you're like, here we go, the world opens up, and it's like, nah, it's just a lot of gray and dirty water and decaying buildings. And then you could explore for 5 minutes. Oh, look, you found a single upgrade stone tucked away into a corner under a ledge. And it's like, that's it. There's nothing, like, no cool enemy. And then the enemies, dude, that bell lady.
Oh yeah.
Whatever she is. Like, why big fucking Lost Ezelith vibes where she's just like copy and pasted all over the fucking map. And I'm like, I don't want to fight this stupid thing. She's like unnecessarily hard. Why is she everywhere?
I thought,
like, I can kill her, but that feels like a fucking mini boss encounter every time you fight her.
Yeah, that was the thing. The first time I ever found one of the bell ladies, I was like, oh, this is a mini boss. I'm gonna go kill the mini boss. And then I struggled a little bit. I died like twice or something, killing her. And then I realized, wait, she's everywhere. So this is a regular enemy. This is just like bloated HP and deals a ton of damage for no reason. I don't understand what the logic was behind the bell lady. But before even going there, right? So you start on Tutorial Island. You start things off. And in the beginning, I was like, okay, so we got some dungeons over here when they first let you loose, even just into the Tutorial Island, right? And I'm like, okay, so we got this open world. I'm getting almost Xenoblade Chronicles X vibes, which is something that I really like because you're seeing the shinies all over the map and stuff like that. Something, and I want to go find all the shinies, see if I can find like the crazy bosses and stuff like that, see what's going on in the open world. Now I'm going through the island, and you know, there's the two places that have side quests in there. And then you can start, when you start recognizing how the map works, you're like, oh, there's going to be a dungeon over here and a dungeon over there. You start identifying where all the dungeons are going to be. And I'm like, okay, I just want to go do a couple of dungeons. So I go to a dungeon, and there's literally a character in there going like, no.
Yeah.
You can't go
come back
in.
later, please. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's strange. So then I go to the other one, and it's the same thing. And I'm like, oh, so you only get to do dungeons if you have the side quest to go do that dungeon. Otherwise, there's the dude in here telling you not to actively explore the open world.
There's other open world dungeons, but they're locked until you finish the first timeline, where Nioh comes out. And like after that, you can go, and the guy that was cock blocking the door has suddenly just disappeared, and it's just wide open for you to wander in. But even then, it's like you go through it, and then at the end, it's like, here is Night Boss, and you're like, oh, cool, I'll fight the night guy. And then you go to the next zone, and you find a new mini dungeon, and it's like, what kind of boss is it going to be? It's Night Boss. And you're like, Night Boss again? Like, really? I think Night Boss I encountered 3 times. Floaty Swordman I encountered, I think 4 times. Big Heavy Hammer guy I encountered twice. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Because I feel like the weird thing is, if you're going to reuse bosses, which is fine. I think it's okay if you're going to reuse bosses. I think, when you have a huge world, it makes sense to reuse. Even in Elden Ring, there's reused bosses there, some. But you don't...
I mean, we fought Tree Sentinel how many times,
Yeah, exactly. But you don't reuse the same bosses within like the first couple of hours, because it just becomes like, so wait, I fought this boss before, and here I am fighting it again and again and again. It just doesn't make a lot of sense the way that they did that.
It killed you 90 minutes ago. Why are you back?
I also feel that the open world overall doesn't feel super rewarding. Like, they'll mark in the open world, oh, here's the blue things. You can go here and collect stuff to increase your healing. Okay, cool. Here's the yellow things. This is going to be where all of your main quests are going to be. Oh, okay, cool. So you just instantly know. Here's the little chalice looking things. This is where you can go to activate a special buff for this region. And you already know these are like the 3 main things that you're doing in the world. And everything else is just, there's enemies around here. Maybe sometimes you'll find an upgrade material. More often than not, you're just going to blow up your bike while you're trying to, like, explore the world, because the bike gets jammed up in everything. It was really weird. I don't know what their thinking process was there. It needed more time to polish.
My problem too is, like, when you think about Elden Ring, when you're wandering around, even just Limgrave, you're seeing shit off in the distance. You're looking at the Divine Tower. You're like, what's that? You see Stormveil Castle, you're like, what's that? When you're on the coast, you look over and you see the Dragon Island, and you're like, how the fuck do I get over there? I know I can't swim. And like, you want to explore and find out how to reach these points of interest. These points of interest are distinct. They, just naturally propel you towards, I want to find more. But then you go into Code Vein, and it's just like, what flavor of broken fucking skyscraper would you like today? And that, I mean, I've always been less a fan of post-apocalyptic settings, like, take Fallout versus Skyrim. I'll take Skyrim any day of the week. I think apocalyptic worlds, they just don't do it for me. I'm like, everything is decaying and broken. I feel like you start to lose the individuality around stuff that like draws me to it. But especially with like post-apocalyptic city design, I'm just like, fucking buildings everywhere, bro. I can't, like, there's nothing here that's propelling me to want to explore this world. And then especially once you start exploring, like I said, you round a corner and it's like, what did you find? Oh, an upgrade stone +1.
That's when you're lucky, by the way. That's when you're lucky, when you're like, oh, I found an upgrade stone. This is actually worth it, because most of the time it's like, oh, there's an apple or a pear or something else that you supposedly can use to craft food, which was another thing that I thought was weird. Was in the beginning
the food crafting disappears when you rest. Yeah, like,
no,
why?
The even weirder thing, like, yes, that is weird that it disappears when you go to what are they called, a missile. So it just disappears whenever you rest at a missile. But the even weirder thing to me was, okay, so they teach you in the island, you can find food and then you can craft things. And I'm like, cool. So I go around the island, collect loads of stuff. I can't craft a single thing. Because what they don't tell you is that you need materials from the vendors, like, oh, you need some salt to put in this lemon so that then you can make like salty lemon or something, and that is going to give you a buff. So you need to also buy materials from the NPCs in order to be able to craft. So that was kind of weird. How'd you feel about the overall level design when you're actually in some of these dungeons? Because sure, the open world, not the best, but then the open world has like smaller dungeons and stuff like that. How'd you feel about the level design of those?
I mean, in general, I think they were pretty linear for the most part. One thing that threw me off, like I like how as we're going through the map, you have that thing that like helps tell you which paths you've been on.
Yeah.
But it's like a ferret that's been given crack. Because you hit that button to be like, okay, which path did I hit? And the thing's like, yeah, and you're like, oh, okay, you're just trying to, okay, there's no fucking crazy thing to the left. Let's go to the left. But even then, like, I mean, most of the dungeons, you're just, you might have like one turn, like the one where you're working down, like you walk in, you kill a guy, and then you immediately start going down the stairs. You like get into the big room with the pillars, and it's like you can either go to the boss, or there's like one door you go through, and then it's like you kill a couple guys, you get a weapon, and then you drop down the other side, and you're still at the boss. So like the actual design of the mini dungeons have like that Lies of P level of linearity, where it's like you can go right or you can go left, and we'll bring you back to the right in about 5 minutes. So a little, kind of on the dull end. But I think the bigger problem was just the open world. Like that open world just didn't, I was not excited to explore that open world at all.
Yeah. I thought that it was a bit of a downgrade from the original Code Vein. I don't know, it's been a hot minute since I've played the original, but I felt like that one, the level design was a little bit better than in this one, from my memories at least. But yeah, so we have this open world, doesn't feel particularly rewarding. Lots of space. And here's the thing, because I don't know how much of it you explored, but I did a lot. So like I was roaming with the bike all over the place. It's like live streams of me just going off into the distance, trying to go as far as I could. And a lot of the sections of the open world are actually closed off. So it's like you can only go to the areas that they specifically want you to go to. And sometimes you'll be able to go to this stranger. Like I was able to go to this crater that's like in the middle of the map. And I just go there, but there's nothing to do. There's like a vendor there, but there's nothing. So I'm just sitting there.
You're thinking like, oh, this giant crater, there's got to be, some kind of world boss or something. There's something good here. No,
it's a building that I'm assuming eventually you'll go there for a quest or something. But basically, it kind of takes away from the reward of exploring the world if you're only meant to go there when you have a side quest to actually go there, which makes you wonder, well, what's the point of the open world then? Just make it linear if that's the way that you're going to be doing it. But yeah. So that's kind of like our vibes on the open world portion of it. How'd you feel about the combat overall?
I feel like the input reading was especially aggressive.
Oh, yes.
Like, I feel like a certain amount of input reading, it's going to happen with a Souls-like. But like you be fighting France, and I feel like he would be like queuing up an attack. You would go to do your heal, and he's like, "Just kidding, bitch," and just shoulder checks you. You're like, "The fuck?" Like you weren't even in that animation, my guy.
Absolutely, like
they are aggressive.
I pointed that out during my stream that like it did happen, especially with France, which is France, for those of you who don't know, is going to be like one of the first real bosses that you're going to face. And I definitely felt that as well. It would be like you're walking around. He's doing nothing. He's just like chilling, doing zero. The literal millisecond you hit that heal is like not shoot you super fast with his super fast attack, almost no telegraph. And like, whoa, what happened to us chilling? You were chilling for like a good 5 seconds right up until I started healing. Because you're waiting for him to do something to heal, and then he does nothing, and then you go to heal, and it's like, gotcha.
Animation commitment. It just doesn't happen, dude.
It is very aggressive, but you can kind of like work around that. But the input reading was very noticeable. Now, in terms of the combat itself, I felt like it didn't flow super well. Like especially if you're trying to combo light attacks into heavy attacks and stuff like that. There's a noticeable like, okay, your light attack combo finished. Now I'm going to queue up that heavy attack, at least with the weapons I played. Yeah. I played the hammer. I played the, what's it called? The gun thing. I forget what they call it. The bayonet. Played the hammer, played bayonet, played some duels. It always felt like there wasn't a seamless way to combo. You're either doing light attacks or you're doing heavy attacks, and you're committing to one of the two.
Yeah, I feel like, especially in terms of damage windows, like I feel like in most Souls games, you usually have a bit of a dance. Like you're going to weave in a couple attacks here and there. And then you might have like a big opportunity where, you know, you get off a weapon art or a critical or whatever, like in the Nioh equivalent, you know, you get that chaos debuff off and you're going to hit a big attack, chunk the boss. But I felt like it was almost all chunkiness from what I was playing with, like with the dual blades, at least. I feel like most bosses I was just tickling. And then finally when slow got applied, I would just go through like half of the boss's health bar in one burst. And then it was back to tickling. And I feel like there wasn't a better flow. Like I feel like my burst windows, I should have been doing less damage, but my overall damage throughout the fight needed to be higher, because instead it felt like I was fighting purely for that burst window. Like I felt like everything I was doing was like, I'm just waiting for you to be caught in your animation, or to get the slow off, or to get the stone off, so I can actually fucking hurt you, because you're not going to stand still long enough for me to do anything besides like a single R1.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way, and it felt like the big damage stuff was in the what do they call it here? It's not weapon arts, the forma, the weapon forma.
Yeah.
That's where the big damage really was, especially with the bayonet, the one that I had, the ancient hunter's bayonet, or whatever. It had that thing where it would fire 3 times and dodge you
The triple
backwards.
shot and the retreat. Yeah.
That seemed to deal the most damage out of anything else that I was doing with that weapon, which seemed like that was their intent. It's like, we want you to get the boss to a point where you can really just exploit the damage, and then you just burn through weapon forma instead of doing basic combos.
Yeah, that's what I was doing, because with dual blades you had one where you could continually input it and your guy was just like do just, you know, slice and dice. Think like Demon Dance or dual blades in Monster Hunter almost. Yeah. And it felt like that. Like I was waiting, I would, like, usually the way most of my fights would flow was I would get the slow up with the big axe, and then as soon as that slow was up, I would dump 10 to 15 of my whatever the resource is, doing that blade attack. Just finish that off. They were usually stunned. Then I would go for the critical jail attack, and that would chunk them, and then the boss would have like a third of their health left. But like those damage windows would be like, I'm fighting, I get it down to maybe 85%, and then I get my window and suddenly the boss is at 35%, and I'm like, this doesn't feel like, it feels imbalanced on both sides.
Yeah, burst windows too bursty, and then regular damage just like not damaging enough,
too whiffy. Yeah
I kind of felt the same way. It was weird. And then there's the whole thing about your partner resurrecting you. I don't remember how that worked in Code Vein 1. Was it as aggressive as in this one?
I don't remember you getting reses in Code Vein 1.
Yeah. Me neither. That's the thing. I'm questioning.
No, I'm pretty sure that was all new.
So because like for those of you that haven't played this, if you die, your partner, because you know usually you have a companion going around with you, they'll res you, and then if you wait for 5 seconds and not take damage and not die again, they'll be back, and then if you die, they'll res you again. And I've kept this chain going on certain bosses like 5 or 6 times, where it's just like, oh, I died. Okay, let me play safe for 5 to 10 seconds. Partner comes back. Now I can go in and deal damage again. Oops, I died again. It's okay. Let me play safe for a couple of more seconds. Yeah. Partner comes back in. It's weird.
The more I played it, the more I felt like the resing was just a band-aid for bad combat balance.
Might have been, yeah.
Like I feel like if the outgoing and even incoming damage was more normalized with like what we see with other Souls games, I feel like the resing, like to that extent, isn't even necessary. Like I could see maybe like you go down and your partner sacrifices themselves for the remainder of the fight and you get up. Something like that I could understand. But like the continual resing, it's like, this just feels like an excuse for you to let France, 2-tap me.
Body you
and then be like, yeah. Well, you got 2-tapped, but it's okay because we let you res. Like, no, I'd rather not get 2-tapped and you don't let me res, to be honest.
Yeah, because you get to a point where the resing almost felt like cheating. It's like, is this right? Like, because I just keep resing. I keep fighting him, but I keep resing back up, and it just doesn't feel very fair for the boss because I'm just like whittling him
the
down.
other thing too, dude, there were a number of times where I would be in the res animation, And then I would just get like hit, you know, like the usual, like getting up invulnerability frames. Yeah. Like my startup frames or my invulnerability frames ended the second that res get in. So I'd be getting, I would stand up and immediately get like wombo comboed into the air. I'm like, what the fuck is like, stop, please. I don't know. I mean, I've had a lot of people asking. I might, if we reach a slow period, I might go back and do more of it. But the way I've been describing it is it's like I went to a barbecue and somebody is grilling up some steaks. They're looking big and juicy, and that's my Nioh 3 right there. I'm like, oh baby, that looks good. And then there's that one guy that's like, hey, I brought some McDonald's. And he has cheeseburgers. And like, yes, both of them could fill you up, but there is no fucking chance I am going to eat the McDonald's when there's a big juicy steak in front of me. And that is ultimately the downfall of Code Vein 2 is, for those that aren't good with analogies, in this case, it was the McDonald's. It's just, I'm sorry, there's just no chance.
There's some stuff that they're trying to do with the story that I thought was interesting, like the choices. Remember we were talking about the choices? Because when you first do the tutorial island, because there's time travel in this game, so you go back in time and you pick up this thing that you needed, and then you get sent back to the present, and then you're given a choice. You can go back and save this character that has already died, but you can save him and change the course of history. And you're given a choice. So I saved them, but me and Cowboy were talking, and you went back and you didn't save him, and that made things
it didn't really change much.
Didn't change much, right?
No, the cutscene. So I was like paying close attention on the stream, because on the stream I did save him. When I was messing around, I didn't. And both times she's like, all the pieces that need to be in place are here. And I'm like, you said the same thing when Noah wasn't with us. Now he is, but the pieces are still in place. The only difference was that you don't get a bridge. Instead, you just take a little boat to the island. That's the only difference I could find. I mean, and maybe there's something down the line that's more impactful, but that was it. I took a boat to get to the mainland instead of being able to motorcycle across the bridge. And obviously I had no Noah, so I didn't get those cutscenes.
But you still get the motorcycle because you're forced to do the side quests in the past where you go and you fix the motorcycle and yada, yada, yada. But wait, there was a side quest in the past as well to build the bridge. Why doesn't the bridge get built? Because that's like one of the first side quests.
I mean, unless I skipped that side quest, but I want to say, wasn't the bridge quest and the motorcycle the two?
Yeah, it was the two ones that, they're mandatory.
Yeah, because when I went there on the save where I didn't do... didn't go back for Noah. When it was time to go to the mainland, she was like, now the pieces are in place, we can proceed. I went down to like where that dungeon was over there, and there's that little like pontoon boat dock, and you just show up there, and then you get a little cutscene, and you're at the island. That was it.
Interesting. So on some more positive aspects of Code Vein 2, the character creator is real good. Yeah, I thought the character creator was awesome. I had a blast working on that, but yeah. Then we also have the whole visuals aspect of it, which first we had to play on PlayStation 5. That was rough. That was very rough. The performance, at least on base PS5. Did you play on the Pro?
Yeah.
How's the performance on that?
Certain spots where you would get like hiccups, but for the most part, smooth.
Yeah, on the base PS5 it was terrible. It was real bad.
Yeah, so you were telling me.
It was rough. So the performance with the frame rate was very variable. You'd be going like, oh, we're at 30 FPS because we're in the open world. Then you'd go into like a closed off section. Oh, we're 50, 60 FPS now. Then you get to the boss fight of that section. Oh, we're back to 30 again. And it was just a mess. And
someone was saying they didn't do like the usual how games have like, if you're on the Pro, you get like Pro enhancements. Apparently they didn't do anything for the Pro. It was just like counting on the Pro to run the base product smoother, I guess.
Damn.
But my big thing was from a graphics perspective, like I was playing it on the PS5. I thought there was something wrong with the graphics. Like I was like, this doesn't look right. Maybe my PS5 is just putting out 1080p or something. I'm checking the output. I'm checking the pass through and the output on my capture card. And I'm like, why doesn't this look good? What's happening here? And then eventually, once I got on the PC version, I'm like, oh, there we go. But I think the PS5 Pro, like, even if you're like, I want to be fidelity mode, you don't even get like a 4K. You're just getting like upscaled whatever the PS4 gets, or maybe not even upscaled.
PS5.
So like there is a there is a distinct visual discrepancy between what the PS5 Pro can do visually and what PC did.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like
it's kind of like a very stark contrast.
Even when I started fighting bosses on the PC, I was like, bro, this is literally night and day. Like, I don't know what's going on. Because on the PS5, there were a lot of bosses I was struggling with because the performance was so poor that you would struggle to find like invincibility windows and, you know, figuring out, I need to be dodging at this precise moment. I need to be blocking at this precise moment. On the PC, I was like, bro, it's like playing the game on easy mode. I don't know what's going on. This is way easier. So yeah, that there's definitely some performance issues there. I'm assuming the team's going to be working on that, but it's just one of those things where it's Unreal Engine 5. Good old Unreal Engine 5, the engine that just keeps on giving every single time. Then people call me a hater, and it's almost like every single game that comes out on UE5 has problems. Every single one. And then finally, on the first one, I thought that it was interesting, the art style that they were going for. We have these anime characters and then these more realistic textures for the scenery and stuff around it. And so I feel like I was more lenient for it back then. But the fact that in Code Vein 2, the art style still clashes that much, I was like, I don't know, man. And I feel like it looks worse than 1 in certain parts of the open world. Nothing?
Yeah. I feel a little bad. I'm just like,
I mean, it is what it is. I feel like it needed a little bit more time to cook. Is what I'm going to say about Code Vein 2. Because like we were saying, it's not a terrible game, but it's also not a fantastic game, and there's a lot of stuff happening right now. Yeah, that's the issue. My recommendation in the video that I made, my opinion piece on it, was like, listen, if you're a big Code Vein 2 fan, I'd say wait for a discount. You wait for a discount. By then, probably
it is a way for a discount game. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would price it in at 40.
Yeah, something along those lines. So wait for like a Steam sale, something like that, if you really want to jump in. Or if you're a Giga fan, then go right ahead, jump in. Just be aware of the stuff that we talked about. But both of us only played a certain portion of the game up until this point, so there's not much else to say. There still is a lot of build crafting to be had in this game, from the blood codes, the different weapon types, and all of that stuff. All of that is there, but it's just the how should I put it? The motivation to actually go out and explore the world. I don't know. I just didn't feel it. I might jump back into it when there's less stuff happening, but for now, yeah, that's going to be it.
It's just unfortunate, you know, because like that. I mean, I don't know. Typically, I don't try to get too excited for upcoming games because, you know, I'd rather go into something with low expectations and be pleasantly surprised than going with high expectations and be disappointed. And Code Vein 2, I don't want to say I had high expectations, but I did enjoy the first. So going in, I was like, oh yeah, the first was fun. I'm sure this is going to be a good time. And then playing it, I'm just like, man, you're just like, I'm not really having that much fun. And, you know, it kind of reminded me of playing like Rise of the Ronin a little bit, where I'm just like, I'm not fucking clicking with this.
Yep.
And then, you know, add in the other stuff that was releasing, and I'm just like, we're just gonna scoot you out. You go away. Go away. It's okay. Just go away.
Well, we'll jump back in at a later time to Code Vein. Maybe we'll see how that pans out.
It's a big on the maybe there.
But
with the amount of stuff that's coming out, though, I mean, for real, it is kind of, because like we got Nioh right now. We got Resident Evil coming out. We got Crimson Desert coming out. We got Monster Hunter Stories coming out. Code Vein 2 is probably not happening again. It's so that playlist is gonna perpetually have 2 parts in it and never get revisited.
The worst part is there's only 2 parts in mine too.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm sorry, Code Vein, but you were not that fun.
So, luckily enough, another game came up which we got to play a little bit early. You significantly earlier, if I remember correctly, and that is Nioh 3, which you were playing and you were telling me, bro, it's real good. It's the real deal. And then I jumped in and I was like, you know what? It's real good. It's the real deal. You're absolutely right. Which, I'm going to be real, after the alpha, I was actually not that excited for Nioh 3. Because I played through the alpha and it was just a whole lot of trying to figure out there's samurai, there's ninja, there's open field. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. I go over here and there's these leeches everywhere that just trample you and shred you to pieces. And now I'm in this crucible thing and my health keeps going down. I was very conflicted during the alpha period, to the point where people like, oh man, can't wait to play Nioh 3. And I was like, yeah, I'll play it.
So back with the Nioh 2 alpha, the alpha specifically, I actually did not like it. I felt like,
do you mean to say Nioh 2 actually, or Nioh 3?
Yeah.
Nioh
with
2.
the Nioh 2 alpha, my initial takeaway was this is just Nioh 1.5. It doesn't feel like they changed anything. I'm seeing the same weapons. I'm seeing the same enemies. This feels very undercooked. And then once we got up to the beta, it was like, okay, now I see what we're doing here. This is starting to feel like its own game, and we're seeing more of the mechanics. So I had that same mindset going into the alpha, and like,
so you kind of expected it to underwhelm you, basically. Yeah.
So going in, I was like, I see, I understand what they're going for here. I see the skeleton of it. This needs more time to cook, though, without a doubt. Like, this is not where it would sell. It's gonna need time. And then when I played it in was it November at the event, then I was like, okay, now we're playing a Nioh game. Now they have pulled this together. So since that moment, then I was like, I'm ready. Now I'm ready for this. I see the progression. That alpha, that was your fucking sketched outline, and you brought this shit to life. I'm ready. So going into the full game, I was already excited. But I had played a version that was close to the full game.
Yeah.
So, by the time the demo came out and everyone started getting their hands on the demo, I was already, halfway through the game at that point. I was going hard, man.
The demo is another thing that I'm actually a little bit sad that they're taking the demo away supposedly on the 16th or something like that. I think
I heard that limited time demo.
Yeah. So first of all, our recommendation for you guys is, if you're watching this podcast, still in time to play the demo and you're still indecisive about whether or not you want to play Nioh 3, check out the demo, because that way you can test your hardware. You can figure out if this is a game that you want to play or not. And then at the same time, if you do enjoy it, you're not wasting your time, because any progress that you make in the demo carries over into the final game, which is a really good thing, in my opinion. Yeah. But yeah, so I started playing the game, and I'm just like, I remember asking you, because I was still confused from the alpha, but do I need to play samurai and ninja? Like, and you're like, nah, dude, you just pick whatever you want. And I'm like, I kind of want to just go samurai, because I love the fact that the ninjutsu stuff regenerates over time. I never like it in Souls-likes when you're trying to work with magic and it's, okay, you get 5 uses of the
go ninja? You said go samurai because ninjutsu over time.
No, I meant go ninja. I wanted to go ninja.
Okay.
But the whole thing about it in Souls-likes, whenever you have magic and it's like, oh, you get 5 uses of the big thing, then you get 3 uses of this smaller thing or something along those lines, and you never know. So I always end up going like, oh, is this the enemy where I should be using my magic? Or so I just save it and I never use it unless it's like an obvious boss fight or something like that. So having it regen was so freeing that I'm just going, oh, you take a fire shuriken, and you take a fire shuriken. Now you take a hatchet to the face, and now another fire shuriken. I was just having a blast. I barely touched samurai. I've just been going ninja nonstop, like an absolute maniac.
I think I'm leaning more towards ninja for exploration, but the ninja set has a mask that you can get off the snake ladies, the recipe to drop, and it marks all the treasures on the map. So just from the perspective of like doing the walkthrough, it's
Ninja
like
for exploration is the best. And then you also get stealth because he's stealthier than the samurai.
it's like a, it's like a security blanket just because I'm going through and I'm like, I see you over there, fucker. Yep. Even if you're not on my notes, I see you over there. We're getting that loot.
Yeah.
So I've been doing more ninja for exploration, and then for boss fights, if shit, like in general, I'm still doing a lot of samurai, but if shit gets down to the wire where I'm like, this is sketchy, I'm falling back to ninja just because the evasiveness is so good. I'm like, I will dodge you all fucking day. You're not going to hit shit. I'm going to dodge this. I'm going to dodge that. I'm going to poke you in your butthole with my sword. I'm going to dodge you again. And the big thing, the more I've played, so for my main playthrough, I did Hatchets and Tampa, which are both amazing.
Oh my God, yes.
For the walkthrough prep and the walkthrough, I've been leaning more heavily into weapons I didn't play as much. So for the walkthrough prep, I was doing Ninja Blade and Ninja Dual Blade, and then focused on Katana and Odachi for Samurai. And then for the walkthrough prep, I've been doing Axe and Spear alongside Kusarigama and Split Staff. And the dual Ninja Blades have very quickly become one of my favorite things for ninja, because the aerial combos you're capable of doing are unmatched. But they're so fucking good. Like so I'll jump in the air, I dash. You have a it's like Flying Swallow from Ninja Gaiden. So you fly and you hit the head. Anything little, head's gone. Anything that's bigger, I'm gonna hit that head, and then I have like a little up step off of them, and then I'm gonna do boom boom. I'm gonna do 2 attacks. I'm gonna jump off of them, fucking throw a shuriken into their back, boom boom, 2 attacks, jump up again, become a human fucking blender, and fly down onto them. Like I was trying to test it, and I had one of the bigger yokais, and I stayed in the air for like 20 consecutive seconds. I was like, I'm not coming down. I'm just fucking molesting your face. I'm like a rabid squirrel just face fucking you, and you can't get rid of me. And I'm just jumping all over this thing's head, and it's like swinging wildly, and I'm like, nope, I'm on your back, nope, I'm on your back, nope, I'm on your head, nope. And I'm like, this is so fucking cool. I'm never touching the ground again. I'm just gonna stay up here, and you can't do anything about it. And none of the other ninja weapons have given me that. I mean, I know that there are some more stuff that I unlock a little bit later, but early on, even dual ninja blades give you like insane aerial combo potential.
It actually reminds me the way that you're describing it, because I haven't played the blades, because the blades don't really scale off a skill, right? If I remember correctly, because I was looking at all the weapons that scale off a skill.
I think that's mostly heart. The top of my head, but I don't know. I've stopped paying attention to scaling since we can just change it now anyway. So it's
but to me, it's everything that I use needs to scale off a skill, because I want to throw the biggest bombs possible and throw shurikens and just go crazy.
Have you started doing any? Have you started making like a build yet?
No, because in the beginning, I'm just going off of like, okay, what gear do I have? Because for the longest time, my hatchets were level 25 or something. I was level 40. And I didn't have higher level hatchets. It was really bad. And I'm just, oh my God, I just need higher level things because this is terrible. But anyway,
the early ninja set that you get from Hanzo, that is a ninja tool set. So so we have physical arts, we have ninja tools,
Hanzo
and we
gave
have shadow
me
arts.
Samurai armor.
Are you at the end of Act 1 yet?
I am at the end of Act 1. I did something where I fought Hanzo and he just gave me samurai armor.
If you're at the end of, did you do the mission where you it's like a trial and you're chasing his Scampus around and ninjas try to ambush you?
I did that.
Yeah, you should now have the Iga Yonin crafting set.
Okay, then maybe I didn't pay attention to it. I need to go craft that.
But
I remember that set being really good because it has the ninjutsu stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's important to differentiate because when I was first going in, I was like, oh, okay, ninja stuff, cool. This is for my ninja build. But there are separate sets depending on if you want to bolster your physical arts, your shadow arts, which is like the element stuff, or your ninja tools, which is like your shurikens and your bombs. So his set in particular is meant for like shurikens and bombs.
Yes.
So if you're doing the shurikens and bombs, that is a very solid set.
Yeah, that's what I've been working on, basically just
you get a damage bonus, you get untouched ninjutsu bonus, and then there's one other perk I'm trying to remember, but it's just for like shurikens and bombs and shit. That is the set for sure.
Yeah, because it just feels so good to throw it. Does it feel to you like it's easier to play the ninja than the samurai? Because that's something that I've heard a lot from people in my stream, that they're playing the demo and they're like, "Oh,
It is.
ninja's
It
like
is.
playing in easy mode."
I don't know if I'd say it in easy mode. I think ninja is gonna feel easier because you don't need to worry about the mastery of key pulsing and flux. You don't need to do that. And I think that's been the hang up for a lot of people coming into Nioh as a franchise, is they're like, oh, this is fucking, I gotta change stances like 3 times in combat and I can't figure it out. And you know, it does seem like a lot. Like even now in like the walkthrough, there's people that are like, I can't get this down, I'm getting my ass beat. And I feel like Ninja provides a safety net where it's like, all right, you know, don't worry about key pulsing. Instead, just do high damage, focus on dodging. As you dodge and you deal damage, you're going to get your tools back. So it does provide a easier approach. Now, it's not to say I think it's stronger than Samurai, because Samurai gets some.
Samurai,
I mean, perfect
gets
example.
crazy
Like
damage
I fucking
weapons. Yeah,
and like
the
Shingen, the end of Act 1 boss, I killed him in like 3 axe combos. Like bro didn't even get to fight back. I was just like,
what level were you?
Oh, whatever level comes along with doing all the content. That's just
so like, I don't know, 60.
It is. I mean, let me hold up. I'll pull up the walkthrough episode. I'm gonna see if I can look at my level.
I was watching Watts play the other day, and she was playing it as in she would not level up past the recommended level for the area, and I was like, oh, that's actually a really good idea. So I started doing the same. So I'm running around with like 1 million Amrita on me.
Oh fuck no, dude.
But the thing that I noticed is I didn't notice any difference between being level, I don't know, at the time that I started doing this, I was doing level 40 content or whatever. And before I was level 50 something, and then I bumped myself down to level 40. And I can't really tell the difference. It seems like it's more based on the equipment that you have than necessarily the level that you have. Because sure, scaling matters, but the level of your gear is still going to be the most important thing that matters the most from my experience.
Yeah, your levels for the most part, I think outside of magic or Omyo and ninjutsu power, level's not that important because you're going to get the majority of those 2 stats from leveling skill and magic, obviously.
Yeah.
But outside of those, like especially early on for Samurai, the level of your weapon is going to have a much bigger impact on how strong it is than anything else. As long as you're hitting like raw stat requirements, you're going to be good for the most part. Now, come late game with my fists, when I went, there's a fist set that has like damage bonus attack A+. And so leveling up that set and taking my attack to 50, my fists got to the point where I was like, you don't get to move, you're out of key and on the ground, and you're like kick him in the face, flip up, hit him, axe kick, and just doing, you know, because late game fist is like, you want to rotate through 9 separate fucking martial arts and make something just look like it's like for those anime watchers, the new season of Jujutsu Kaisen, there's this clip that's going around where one of the Jujutsu sorcerers, his name is like Nioh, I think. I don't know, dude doesn't last long, but his whole thing is he can fight at 24 frames per second. So he's not doing a ton of damage. But there's like this very viral clip that's going around where he's like, bum, 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 and he's like, like brushing his hair back while he's like juggling this dude's fucking face with his fist. And we saw a ton of spin-offs of it. Really funny clip. But that's what Samurai with fists feels like once you get into the upper levels. Because you have so much ki, you're just like boom, 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 and stuff's just like like the body. Because especially once you bottom out ki on yokai, you get that thing where like their body is like blah, 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 blah. Like you're juggling them into the corner.
Yeah, because they
can't.
And
they're animation locked because they don't have ki and they're inflicted by chaos, so it's not regenerating. So you just see the body like blah, 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 and you're just fucking bullying them. So like Samurai absolutely can clap some cheeks, especially as you get the levels to really have the stats to support it. But early on, I do think Ninja is going to feel a lot stronger because you're like, I am evasive. I'm not worried about key pulsing. And on top of that, Ninja, you're getting that, you're really capitalizing on that, the backstab damage bonus because you do more damage behind the target in Nioh. And that's also true for Samurai, I'm pretty sure. But Ninja, it's like,
Ninja
you
gets
press one
bonus
button
backstab damage, yeah.
Hey, I'm behind you. Whereas like Samurai, it's, you know, you're deflecting, you're in the front of the enemy a lot more. You're
it's a little
focusing
bit
on
trickier.
guarding. Yeah.
But it's like I was just asking whether or not it's easier because most people feel that way. They feel that like, oh, Ninja is easier, and I do feel that early on is easier. But I'm also kind of biased when it comes to that stuff because of the fact that when I played Nioh 2, if you remember, I wanted to play the hatchets. The hatchets were not very good in Nioh 2. I remember you telling, no, the hatchets are great. They're fantastic. Like, look at this build I made. And I'm trying to replicate this build. And I'm like, no, bro, this is freaking miserable. What are you talking about? I swapped the axe and I just maul everything that comes into contact with me. I just start one-tapping every boss in Nioh 2 with axe the moment I swapped from hatchets to axe. And I'm like, no, there's a balance issue here. And in 3, that's not a thing anymore. So I'm still like wondering, is it because did I feel like Nioh 2 was harder because hatchets sucked, and now it doesn't feel hard anymore because hatchets don't suck. So
hatchets are actually good.
Yeah, hatchets are very good. I also played around with tonfas the other day. Tonfas are also extremely. I actually think that tonfas are way more powerful than hatchets, but hatchets give you more range control. So you can like, oh, I throw it and it does the spinny thing.
Hatchets have the best grapple in the game.
Yes.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like literally you sweep them, you slam both hatchets into them, and you do a fucking jumping somersault axe kick. Like, bro,
just for style points. It's just style points.
Just for style points. Most weapons, katana, I'm gonna stab it and pull it out. Dual swords, I'm gonna stab it and twist it. Now I'm gonna do a fucking flip and drive this shit through you. Like,
it's beautiful. I love. I also like the tonfas one where he just like he does the thing where he puts the
yanks him into the knee,
yanks him into your knee. That's also very good.
See, I missed there was, and maybe I get it later, but there was a grapple for tonfas back in 2 where you would like hit him in the face, turn around, hit him with a fucking hook kick to the face. Like it was like a boom, 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 boom. It was like a 4-hit combo.
Yeah.
Where your character was rotating through like spinning back fist into the fucking hook, into another hit, into a follow-up. I liked that one a lot. But right now, it's just the yank him into the knee. And I'm like, well, why would I want to do that when I could flip a hatchet into your gut and drive it home like a fucking sledgehammer?
Hatchets are goated. It's just that simple. I like the hatchets a lot. I've went back and forth with hatchets and tonfas. I feel like tonfas deal more damage in melee though. At least it definitely felt way more powerful in melee than hatchets.
I think they still deal more key because there was a thing in
because they're a blunt weapon, so it makes sense.
Yeah, where blunt weapons deal more key damage, and I think that is true here as well. I haven't like thematically tested it, but I know I just started playing more with split staff, and the key damage I do definitely feels way higher compared to other ninja weapons.
Yeah. But in this game, they also did the change that we're talking about. They swapped from the traditional mission structure that we had in previous Nioh games to what you've been calling open field. It's kind of like open world, but they're calling it open field. Like, what's the big difference? Open world, open field. Like, well, what's that about?
I think to me, how I've kind of classified it is like when I think open world, like Elden Ring, for example, outside of like set activities, like, you need the medallion to get up into the mountainous regions, and you can really just kind of fuck off and go wherever. You want to wander into Caelid at level 10, you're going to get your cheeks clapped, but you can do that. But with the open field design, it's like we've created a smaller section of the world. Like you are in this era. This portion of it is open, but then even in that open portion, you have your areas that'll become battle scrolls, where it's like a standalone mission, more reminiscent of the older Nioh games. And you can replay those with battle scrolls. But otherwise, you're just exploring the region kind of as you want, but it's like that slice. So it's like, instead of having the whole pizza in front of you, it's like you're given 2 slices at a time. You're being told, okay, eat those 2 slices, and then we can move on to the rest of the pizza. But the way that they break it up, where like certain portions of that world are going to be kind of reserved for missions. And in particular, I really like the map system they did here, because I've seen a couple people that are like, well, I don't like that everything is being marked on the map for you. And you can actually turn all that shit off. When you have the map up, if you hit, what is it, X, either X or square, you can pull up a thing, and you can have either everything shown on the map as it's uncovered. you can have nothing shown on the map at all. Or what I've been doing, you can have the map only show things that you haven't grabbed, which I really like that, because you could go through a zone.
I want to do that. I need to set it
so
to
nice.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so nice because you can go through a zone, and as you progress the zones, the map will start showing more stuff. First,
it starts getting
first
really
it'll show the map itself, so there's no more fog. Then it'll show potential exploration activities, and then at tier 4, it'll show collectibles. So it'll even show like where your ninja locks are, your kodamas, stuff like that. And with the third setting on, I will just go through the map getting all my stuff, and then like at the end of the map, I'll pull it up, and it's like, yep, there was a kodama back over there, and I'm like, I'm gonna go get your ass. So it's like I'm still exploring at my pace with like finding things as I explore the world. And then when I'm done with a region, it's like I can pull up the let's see what I missed checklist, which I really like that approach. Because it doesn't, if you don't want the checklist there, you don't have to have the checklist, which I like. And I think that's been probably the thing.
And then
you can go back and get it if you want.
Yeah.
But I think that's been the thing. It's just the freedom it's offered you, because you can customize the map. We can, the free respecs at any time, the changing your skills at any time. And that's what sold me on Nioh 3 more than anything else, is the level of freedom they've given us as players to just tweak this experience, whether you want to be all ninja, all samurai, changing up your gear and the stats on your gear, how you want to approach the map. Like, it's fucking good. They were like, we want the player experience to be at the forefront of what we're doing. And that's what I've appreciated the most about it.
There's a lot of stuff that I want to jump into all the stuff that you just talked about, but it's like the open field design. One of the vibes that I got is that from exploring the world, it almost seems like the whole zone is just one big Nioh level. So I kind of don't feel like they really sacrificed level design all that much, because if you're going through one of these zones, it's still just because each of these open fields has like subsections that you end up going through, and as you go through each of the subsections, it feels like just a really big Nioh level, with the exception of when there's a wide open field. That's what feels kind of out of place, but it's kind of like necessary if you want to have that more open experience every now and then. Okay, there's a big open field that you usually wouldn't see in a Nioh game. But other than that, the majority of the level traversal itself feels very much in line with what you've come to expect from Nioh, which I think is a good thing, because it still feels like a Nioh game, despite the fact that they've fundamentally changed the structure of the game.
Well, and even I think a good example is I think it's the plains near Fudamata, like one of the upper regions in the first act. But like you do come across this like open grassy field. And it's like there's a couple enemies in the field, kind of like waiting in the grass to try and ambush you. There's a mini boss in the field. But as you approach the field, if you kind of go through it and go off to the left, that'll take you and connect to the neighboring zone. If you go up into the north, there's like a crucible up there and like a mini roundabout and some stuff you can do. If instead you go around over to the east, it's going to take you into the neighboring zone. But so it's like you're given this field. The field's going to have enemies and a couple different loots, so kodama here and there. But then depending on which way you go through that field, you're going to be kind of funneled into either new zones or into a section that's more reminiscent of a Nioh level. So kind of how you said, it's like, it feels like that OG Nioh level design. Like if I go north and I get to Firefly Forest or whatever, that feels like a mini level from one of the older Nioh games. I'm going to go through, I'm going to clear some stuff. I got to work my way through. I need to drop down shortcuts. I'm going to work up to the Crucible. After the Crucible, I'm going to work ahead. There's going to be a shrine. That's, that reminds me of the older Nioh games.
Yeah, which I think is very important when you're trying to make that type of a transition to a more open world, open field, whatever they want to call it, that you still retain that original level design, because otherwise, it starts feeling like a more foreign game. But I thought that was cool. I thought that exploring the open field also felt very rewarding. There were a couple of situations where eventually you run into the whole thing of, oh, this one's probably connected to a side quest, because there's like pieces of wood and stuff piled up on top of this door, and it says, you can't access here now. And you're like, okay, so this bit is part of a side quest. But let's say the ratio to that was like, I don't know, maybe 20% of the times I would run into something like that, whereas a majority of the times the game would just be, hey, you want to go in here, you go in here, you do whatever you feel like, you go do you. And that was really cool because usually there's a reward there, whether it's a samurai lock, ninja scroll, samurai scroll, new weapons, new gear. There's always something that you end up getting that might be important for your build, might be important for a potential build that you might be working on later. I thought the exploration was very, very, very rewarding, and they did a really good job with that.
The thing I'm looking forward to, so I've barely touched New Game Plus because, you know, people are like, I got the walkthrough done.
Yeah.
But I was dabbling around with it the other night, and even the, even like one of the opening sections, like that first real like mini village that you encounter at the start of the game, how there's like one of those wolf guys running around.
Yeah.
That's been, there's a whole new enemy. It's a Rakuyo or whatever, was just hanging out there. And I was like, oh, so even in the New Game Plus cycle, they're changing up enemy placement, putting new enemies in. And then the map, I'm still not sure how collecting stuff in New Game Plus works, because the map still shows check marks.
But you don't want to be collecting literally everything that you've collected in normal game, I feel like.
Yeah, and that I need to test more, but I do know at least the map, you're getting new enemies and, you know, separate layouts of where those enemies are in New Game Plus. But that's something I'm going to start. I'm probably going to take like a day off from the walkthrough and just go hard as fuck on New Game Plus and just
figure that stuff out.
Experience it, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see.
Well, I think, and one of the nice things about the open world is like there's this section in later on in the game, but like if you're going just kind of down the road, you know, you're gonna come up on some dudes, start fighting them, and there's gonna be some dudes up top that are gonna start blasting you with cannons and snipe you, and you're probably gonna die. Instead, though, as you're exploring that same thing, there's like a path you'll notice that's like off to the left, and if you take that, you'll find a couple of hay bales. You jump on those, you can get on the roof. You can run around the roofs. You can take out like 2 of the ridgeline snipers, and then you come up all the way adjacent to where the shit is. So you're just like, you are visually looking at the battlefield that you had to get across. And you're like, oh, okay, there's an explosive barrel over there. I'm going to hit that and fuck this guy up. I'm going to snipe these 3 guys. I can climb up the tower, and the same cannon that killed me, I can use that to blow up the fucking Yoki that's down there that tries to ambush me. And so that's like, even in the open world sections, there's been parts where, you know, like that reminds me a lot of like Stormville Castle, where it's like, you know, you could go through the middle and you're going to fight through and probably get fucked up. Or if you take this side path, you can come up and you're dropping down on those ballista guys that were ambushing you. And that's what I want when we have a more open-ended level design. I want that freedom in how I'm going to approach that level where, you know, if I don't want to deal with this gauntlet of bullshit, there's a way to go around it. You're going to have to find it, but there is a way.
Yeah, I think they're doing really, really good work there. And I'm just super happy about because usually, again, transitions to open world are very, very rough. Not every game is able to do it. And I feel like Nioh 3 has been able to pull it off in a way that doesn't necessarily change the essence of what Nioh is. But yeah, I believe that the community is still a little bit divided on that, but personally, I think this might be my favorite Nioh to date. I'm not sure. It's too early. It's honeymoon phase, and I know that I have terrible recency bias, but this has definitely been the most fun experience that I had in the beginning of a Nioh game, because I have all these ninja tools. I'm throwing bombs, throwing exploding shurikens, and being a gun-lance guy, I like explosions. So the fact that the game has given me all this explosive stuff, and at the same time I get to play with hatchets, and I'm throwing hatchets left, right, and center, and I'm even doing more combos than I usually tend to do in Nioh, because the way that I usually play Nioh is like, if I find that one thing that works, like, oh, strong attack with axe and heavy stance, guess what? That messes up everything. It's fantastic. I love it. I go up to a monster, cleave him right in the middle of the head, does tons of damage, great. With the hatchets, I'm like, ooh, I'm throwing the hatchet. It stays spinning in place. Then I do the one that moves forward while he's like doing acrobatics with the hatchets, then throws a hatchet at the end of it. Then I do the jumping attack. Then I throw 2 hatchets down with a drop kick. It's like all of that stuff feels fantastic to pull off. And usually I don't experiment with combos nearly as much as I've experimented here. It just feels very satisfying.
Yeah, the combat flexibility. Like I said with dual blades, like being able to be like, I'm not coming out of the air. I'm going to balance and juggle on top of your fucking head for the next 20 seconds. Like that's That's fun. And there's even newer shit. Like as I was doing the walkthrough prep, you know those big fucking wormy things?
The green ones?
Looks like it looks like
the
a big fucking
leeches?
fleshlight that tries to suck you up. When they're trying to suck you up, you can chuck a bomb in that fucker's mouth.
Yeah. I've been doing
and then it's like, and then you beat the shit out of it. I just discovered that the other day, and I was like, that's so fucking awesome. Every time I find one now, I'm like, is baby hungry? Eat the fucking bomb.
Eat this shrapnel bomb.
Yeah, that's the shit that I'm loving though. It's like those little things. I'm like, oh, okay. Them and the I call them floaty boys, but those big fucking ghosts that just like hover and
they just slash you up. Yep.
Those the ninja dual blades. I'm like, you want to play in the air? Let's go, bitch. And it's like, whoa, I'm the airman. Why? Get off my head. Like, you're not fucking living. You're dead.
I find it really funny the way you're describing dual blades actually reminds me of another game. I don't know if you've ever played the original Toki then. Kusarigama.
I have not.
Kusarigama in that game did what you're describing here. You could basically jump on top of these yokai and you'd be able to do this thing where it would just basically jump you up and you'd keep attacking and then jump back up and keep attacking. So this is something I feel like they might have taken inspiration from that. The way you're describing it sounds exactly like I used to play Toki then with Kusarigama, which is crazy.
There's a lot of stuff, especially just coming off of the new Ninja Gaiden game. There are a lot of things where I'm like, I see you here, Ninja Gaiden. I see my flying swallow. I know my moves when I see them. But like it does feel like they pulled from. It feels like Team Ninja took the culmination of all their experience from all their games, and they pulled it into this one, because I'm seeing bits of Ninja Gaiden with the deflects and whatnot. I'm seeing little bits of Wo Long with the open world. I'm seeing, like it feels like Rise of the Ronin was kind of like they looked at what they did that worked there, what they did that didn't work, and I even implemented that. So it does feel like they took lessons from, all of their major recent titles and pulled them in to make Nioh 3 what it was.
Yeah. It definitely does feel like that, and it's a good thing. Like the other thing that you were bringing up earlier was the respecking thing. I was so surprised because like in previous Nioh games, you needed like a special item to respec. I do remember it becoming negligible. The cost of that item was like 10,000 gold or whatever. It was super cheap, and you could just
but it was still just like, what? Just let me do it. Why do I got to even fucking pay
exactly.
Money? Let me respect. Yeah.
Why do I have to do this? Why are we going through the motions? Because it was also two different items, so you needed one for the stats, and then you needed a different one for the skills. And I forget if there was even like maybe two different versions of the skills ones or whatever, but it was a negligible cost. It was just something that was there just to be like, well, we don't want you respecking all the time. And you're just like, well, why? Why not?
Yeah, after Wu Chang, I have been radicalized. Free respecs in all games. Yeah, all games deserve respecs at all times. Let me fucking experiment.
So it's actually really cool because just the other day I was going over and I'm like, okay, I do want to try the tonfas, and I just go in there and I'm like, okay, just reset all ninja skills, and I'm just gonna reapply everything again. Now I'm a tonfas guy. I'm not a hatchets guy anymore. I'm a tonfas guy, and it's cool because you just get to experiment with that stuff. And I think that was also,
especially with like the crucible weapons too, because you'll find weapons and you're like, well,
I've been very unlucky with crucible weapons.
Yeah. Oh, I've gotten so many of them. Yeah. But I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever going to use ninja blades, but if I might, I guess I can level this up just to have the skill. So I'll play with blades for a bit, and then you get done. Well, I wasn't really thinking about doing claws, but it's a new skill I can learn. So okay, let's become claws for a bit. So like I was changing my skills. Like the Let's Play, I probably changed my skill setup, I don't know, 30 plus times.
Wait a minute. It's a new skill I can learn. So you've played way more than I have. I might not be aware of exactly how crucible weapons work. Right, I just thought it's like a more powerful weapon that you get. Maybe I didn't read the tutorial.
So crucible weapons, when you look at them, there's going to be a skill at the bottom of it, and the text most of the time is going to be in red. That is a martial art for that weapon that you can only get from the crucible weapon. So the crucible weapon will give you a certain move. And when you have that crucible weapon equipped, it's going to replace that move. So it's like, hey, while this crucible weapon's on, your forward and Y, it's this now. It's not what it used to be. It's a whole new move. But if you keep playing with that weapon, the familiarity bar that you can that just grows as you fight. Once that hits max, that skill is permanently learned.
Okay.
So it's like, the same way you can find scrolls out in the world to unlock new moves, by leveling up crucible weapons, you can permanently unlock their skills. So if there's like any weapons you're interested in, you can put that on and just learn that skill. And also it goes between stances. So let's say you're maining katana, but you like the idea of Odachi, and you're like, maybe later I'm going to fuck with Odachi. But for now, you're playing ninja mainly, like you said. You find an Odachi that has a new crucible art on it. You could put that on, play in ninja,
and
as long as those are both
familiarity,
you still get familiarity.
Oh.
So like even like late game, once you get the access to having 2 samurai and 2 ninja weapons, I would put both weapons in slot 1 will gain familiarity. But so what I would do is like I'd have like dual ninja blades in slot 1 and an Odachi in slot 1 for samurai, and then in slot 2 for samurai I'd have something else, and then in slot 2 for ninja I'd have something else. And so I'd max out familiarity with my ninja weapon. The samurai one would finish, and then I would use my second ninja weapon, and the second samurai one would also level up. And so I was doing that to basically level up and unlock all of these skills. Like one of the best ones, severing spin for the katana, you can only get from a crucible weapon, and it's fucking insane. It's probably like one of the coolest parries in the game, because your guy like flips the sword around and sheathes it during the animation. The whole thing is like a parry window, and it'll not only parry enemies, but like it's more like a deflect almost. They'll just bounce off of it, and then when you sheath, you see like there's just like a shit ton of red slashes that fly across the screen. So like I've used that one. That one is so good. I've used that not even as a parry. I'll just like hit an enemy, dash behind him, and then ching, and then and just all the slashes hit him and fuck him up. Yeah. So learn your crucible weapons, folks. They're good.
Yeah. I need to go farm some more crucible, but I've only done like in that first act, I think there's only 2 crucibles, right? Or do the smaller ones also count for that? I think there's only like 2 crucibles that we actually do. It's the one for the one that you do in the demo that most people probably have made, and then there's one near the end.
Mikatagahara one, Fiery Invasion. So yeah.
Yeah, those are
both of those become battle scrolls, so you can just
you can go back and farm them,
kill shit. Yeah, crucible weapons that way.
That's
what I'm doing for the newer playthroughs, is like I said, I've narrowed down my weapon focus. So like for the walkthrough, if it's not axe, spear, kusarigama, or staff, I'm not using it. I don't care how good it is. I've decided. But on the first save, I was leveling up. Like I had a list, because as I would find new crucible weapons, I put the little lock on them, and I was working through those weapons like a fucking checklist. I was like, I'm learning, because this is my main save. I was like, I'm learning every fucking skill I can on this save.
Yeah, that is a ton of fun playing around with that stuff for sure. But yeah, so new combat, open field, all of those shenanigans. Did you find big difficulty spikes as you went onwards? Because I think that the first real big difficulty spike I ran into was the last boss we're allowed to show, the final boss of Act 1. That was the one where you actually started beating me, and I was like, okay, I actually need to focus down for this one.
Before him, Horse Boss, and then the first fight with Shingen, I had more trouble with than the final fight of
Interesting. Shingen. Those two were not a problem at all.
Well, the first time I fought it was the first or second time I fought the horse guy, something happened, and he like, I don't know if bugged out is the correct response, but like his horse he wasn't even attacking. He was just running circles around me, and I couldn't fucking hit him. So it's like 30 seconds of me swinging him. Whoa, here I come again, idiot. Oh, you missed again. And I'm like, how do I fucking hit you? And like, I ran into a corner to try.
On stream, bro. He aura farmed you on stream.
And then like I ran to a corner to get him, and he like ran over to me and then looped back again. I'm like, like when I fucking catch you, you're so fucking dead. But I'd say there were 2 distinct moments I can think of where I was like, I can't do this. The first, right after Act 1, you get a optional mission called 4 Heavenly Kings, and it's a battle scroll boss fight gauntlet.
Yeah, I've seen that mission in my list.
Yeah, that one is hard because you go past, I think it's 2, if I remember, it's 2 humanoid and then 3 yokai, and you're doing all 5 of those back to back without like healing or anything. So that one, I was like, I'm coming back to this one later. This one's hard. And then I don't want to spoil it, but there's a boss later in the game where I got to, and I was just like, oh, okay, this is the get good boss. And like I had to step away. I had to fucking do a full respec. I blew almost all my gold. I made like a proper fucking set, like purple set bonuses, redid all my stats, came in and beat the fucking shit out of him. But in fear, up until that point, I was doing like an everything man. I was like, I'm playing with this weapon, I'm playing with that weapon. And I got to him and it was like a lock-in moment. It was like, okay, it's time to make a big boy build, let's go. And then ever since then, that was when I had my fist build got done. And that's also when I made my elemental ninjutsu build. And then he just got smoked. He had no chance. I was like, that's the difference. We've hit this is the break point where you gotta, shit or get off the pot. Either you're learning to make a build or you're dying.
So that's going to be the moment where a lot of people are going to be like, oh man, what's going on? Oh, the rage moment. Yeah. Reddit's going to be filled with posts like, oh, this is unfair, artificial difficulty, yada, yada, yada. I can't wait for that moment. It's going to be absolutely fantastic.
I always think it's so funny though, like the shit you can do. Like for example, for that fight you mentioned with Shingen at the end of Act 1, we streamed that yesterday for walkthrough prep, and I had my dual ninja blades. And in true big boss faction, I got lightning applied to him, got water, popped living artifact, got him into a corner, and I just pressed and held down Y. And I did water sword for about 30 seconds continually, and he never moved until he died. And everyone in the stream was like, what build is that? What did you do there? How do you do that? And I'm like, that's like once you understand all the mechanics of Nioh, that's like, because we're getting confusion. So the boss is key locked. We're putting him in a corner, so my stationary ass can hit him even though I'm not moving at all. And then it's just he dead. But it's getting those mechanics and knowing like how to abuse bosses that I think makes Nioh so fun. Because Nioh lets you. The thing about Nioh compared to a lot of Souls likes is especially early, the difficulty can feel oppressive at times.
Yeah.
But once you understand, like, I want to use these elements, I want to use these moves. The fact that Nioh will let you bully, not just beat, but bully bosses. Like, they don't fucking move and you're tossing them around. It's like putting Rampage Jackson against a fucking 5-year-old in a UFC ring. Like, beat the absolute shit out of the boss. Nioh lets you do that.
Hydrogen bomb versus
coughing baby. Yeah, it lets you do that, which is what I love so much about Nioh. Because most games are like, like to do that in Souls, for example. I mean, there's builds of people one-shotting Promised Consort, but it's like a minute straight of fucking buffs before you walk in the boss arena to do it. And Nioh, it's just like, if you know how to set it up, you can do that.
It's one of those things that I've always said with Nioh, it feels really hard until your build comes online. When the build comes online, it's the exact opposite of what it felt before. You're just like cleaving everything, shredding everything.
I'm a fucking god.
Like I remember in Nioh 1, it was up until I got like whatever the Phoenix living weapon that would trigger when you died. And so you just put, I don't know, I remember putting a bunch of offensive stuff. And I would just go ham, and then I die, and then I just keep going ham until the boss dies. It's just like you keep hitting it until it dies, and then you die, and you keep hitting it until it dies more.
There's a hatchet move you'll get later. If you kind of build towards it, it's kind of like Sign of the Cross, but for hatchets. Your guy queues up, and then he like rushes forward with the hatchets, and he like hits, and then he fucking slams one down, and it does a lightning explosion. And that it's like the setup for it. It takes a minute, but once you get it down, that becomes the like, it's time to end your whole fucking career, my guy. it's that move for the hatchets. So you're like, boom, boom, boom. You get the element up, you sloth, you queue it up, boom, and that one hit is doing like a third of their fucking health. And you're like, yeah, We're cooking now. We're cooking now.
Hella good. Yeah, it's been really fun, and it's been interesting to see just how confident the team is in the game because of just how much they've allowed us to show. Because usually, people are more cagey about, oh, you can only show this thing or show that thing, and they're putting out a demo that's like easily 10 hours of gameplay. Like just the demo itself, give or take. I've heard people say like, "Oh, I've spent 30 hours in the demo. There's nothing else I can do. I'm just repeating missions." And it's like they're gonna burn out on the game before the game even comes out.
I've never seen an embargo like this where they're like,
"Yeah,
you can upload the whole first act of the game." I might go, "Okay, that's a lot," and they're like, "Nothing past that though." I'm like, "That's
still a lot."
Like, that's still like, yeah, like from a for the Let's Play, it was 18 hours. For the walkthrough, let me actually here. I have all the walkthrough.
I spent like 25 hours, but I was stuck on some things where I just kept obsessing over. Oh, I want to get over here, and then I couldn't find the way to go there, so I just be like running around and doing random shenanigans. But yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of content that they allowed people to stream because they're just confident that the game's going to do well. And it was funny because somebody in my chat in the last stream, they were going like, well, judging by the size of the map, there's really not that much to do. Seems like Rurikhan's almost done with it. It's like, yeah, this is chapter 1. I'm almost done with the first chapter.
Dude, the crazier thing, so my first playthrough, I clocked in start to finish, 100% platinum. And given the way I explore games, I'm a very meticulous player. I'm usually, I'm going through that map like a fucking Roomba. It was 66 hours for a first playthrough. That's
not including New Game Plus, which you just were saying earlier.
That's just New Game. Yeah. And people, I've already seen some people, they're like, only 66? I'm like, only 66? The fuck do you mean only 66? That's a week and a half of like a full-time job for just the New Game cycle. And this is coming from like a veteran player that,
you're going to be faster than a lot of people. Yeah.
In fact, most people are probably going to clock in at fucking 80 hours for a first playthrough. And the thing with Nioh, it's kind of like a joke in the community is your whole New Game playthrough, that's basically just a fucking tutorial for you to start.
Yeah, because you start getting the green weapons when you get to New Game Plus. That's when you really start.
Green gear, gray sets, all that shit is where the game really starts to pop off.
Yeah. So there's basically a lot of content for people to do. I'm still curious to see what the collection aspect is going to be in New Game Plus, but yeah, that'll be interesting to see.
Push it more.
Quick thoughts on sound before we jump into visuals. I thought that the sounds were all good. I like the soundtrack, everything.
Sounds are good. I think the only thing is music has never blown me away in Nioh games. And it's not bad, but I think
it's thematic,
there's certain there's certain like FromSoft soundtracks that I'm like, oh yeah, this is like Cleric Beast, you know that shit. But there's never been a Nioh track that I'm really like, fuck yeah, this makes it into this is part of the pump playlist for the gym. But they're not bad. It's just the music's it's suitable. It doesn't have bangers for me.
There has been some inconsistencies in some of the voice acting in the way that they pronounce certain characters' names. Like I've seen Ieyasu pronounced like 2 or 3 different ways depending on which character's saying his name, which is a little bit weird.
Are you playing in English?
Yeah, because for people that are watching on second screen. No. I get it. I would absolutely play in Japanese, but like I said, there's people watching in the second screen, so I have to play in English.
See, I sometimes for what's it called? What's that fucking game that we just did from the Chinese game? Where Winds Meet. I turned it to English because people were like, I can't understand anything. And finally I was like, fine, I'll put it in fucking English. Nioh, I put that shit in Japanese. I never looked back. If nothing else, just because there's so many, I'm a huge fucking weeb. I watch a ton of anime.
Yeah.
And there's so many voice actors that I recognize
I'm
just like, that's
I'm
my
sub
go.
over dub every day.
Yeah, sub over dub every day. Like even just Nikomata, they've had the same voice actor for the cat for all 3 games, and every time I hear his voice, I'm like, it's my boy, he's back. Yeah, I love the Japanese voices in Nioh, but I really do. I really appreciate how they did Nioh 1 voices actually, because the default in Nioh 1 was like If they were Japanese, they were speaking Japanese. But when it came to William was going to speak English. It's like,
Yeah.
How do they understand each other? Fucking
the video game
Rid
logic.
of magic.
Okay.
Yeah, and rid of magic. But I loved that approach. I was like, this is so good. I wish more games did this.
Yeah, it's good stuff. But visuals, how was performance on your end?
On PC, fucking flawless.
Yeah, same thing here. And the important thing is there's no DLSS, there's no FSR, as far as I could tell, because there isn't even the option. Did you have the option for the DLSS?
There is. It's in the like advanced option settings. I have it on.
I don't think there's one for FSR. Like my stuff's just running native 4K.
It might be. I'd have to look, but I know there is some stuff. But dude, that's probably
sure
the biggest thing.
My stuff's just running native 4K, dude. It's crazy. I'm just like, I didn't know we even did native 4K anymore because every game's FSR, DLSS.
The amount of people that I don't personally understand the graphics complaints, but I've had a lot of people, even on the review, they're like, these graphics are dated. This is PS4 graphics. I don't like this.
I will say, I do think that the visuals are a little bit dated. I do. But I don't think that's a problem. Yeah, the fidelity looks fine. I feel Nioh's always had somewhat dated visuals. Let's be real. It is what it is. But to be honest, it's not like, oh, it's a big problem. It's not a big problem. They're a little dated. Who cares? Because the most important thing to me is, does it perform well? Yes. Does it animate well? Absolutely. I don't care. I'd rather have it be like this than friggin', oh, let's put everything Unreal Engine 5 and then have it run like crap and have all of these other problems that come with Unreal Engine 5. No, keep it like this a million times over. Make your next 10 games look like this and not use Unreal Engine 5. Straight up.
Yeah, I have no issues with Nioh's graphics. I think they have a certain style too. You know, like I've seen some people that are like, I don't like all the colors and the loot explosions. I'm like, that's part of the charm for me, man.
That's Nioh.
Like, yeah. Like that's yeah, exactly. That is Nioh.
It's always
like,
been.
If you don't like enemies exploding and dropping loot everywhere, this might not be the game for you.
You're not going to like Nioh. It's just that simple. Yeah, like that's pretty much what I expect. I expect that when an enemy's about to die and you're doing an attack on him, I expect his limbs to shoot off, his head chops off, and all of this crazy dismemberment's going to be happening. He's going to fall limp to the ground, then he's going to explode in a loot pinata. That's what always happens. People haven't even
seen the late game stuff. Late game, like there is some fights where I was using late game Omyo spells, and I couldn't even see the boss. Shit, I was throwing out. I have fucking giant firestorms rising. I got tornadoes going all over the screen. Lightning is striking everywhere. There's fucking bubbles popping up and exploding. The boss is shooting all over. I'm like, I don't know if he's attacking me. I'm just gonna keep casting this spell. If he is attacking me, I might be dead, but hopefully he dies first.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like the character creator let me make this character with this really bright orange big hair, and everybody's like, always, you don't like my character, dude? You're gonna give me crap like everybody else?
I've seen him. I'm not one to judge.
My dude looks amazing. He's a sneaky ninja. People were saying that, how do you sneak? Your hair makes so much noise. It's
fucking Maine.
Yeah, no, but it's been fantastic. Like like I said, I think it's been the most fun that I've had in a Nioh game so far, which is I've always liked Nioh games, but it's been one of those things that I need to format my brain to play Nioh. And then I need to play through everything that I need to play of Nioh. And then when I'm done, it's very hard to come back. And I feel like for this one, it's not going to be as much of a problem this time around.
Right, like the crazy thing is going to be when people start progressing, because like Act 1, there's still so much. Like once you get past Act 1 or towards the end of Act 1, even you can start burst countering with your yokai abilities. You can start you get access to having your double weapons in ninja, double weapons in samurai. You start getting access to the high end spells, like the high end ninjutsu, the high end omyo, the secret bosses, and the shit that comes along with them. There's even, you could do a full-on soul core build if you wanted, where you're just summoning stuff.
Just summoning shit.
So like there's so much that people like. Act 1 is really just the tip of the fucking iceberg in this game.
I can't wait because that's all I've done so far. I haven't had as much time to play, so all I've done is just whatever's been in Act 1. But just going through and exploring the map and just doing combat, I don't know, it feels different this time around from previous Nioh experiences that I've had. It feels better, and again, I know that it's divisive because I've heard people say that like, oh, this one's not as good as the other ones. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I've never had as much fun with a Nioh game. You're crazy.
I've had a couple of those people already. They're like, this is just slop. I'm like, I'm not even engaging with them. I'm just like, no. Okay. Have
sure.
fun missing out on peak, I guess. Yeah, like, sure.
Like,
whatever you say, buddy.
Just don't play it. It gets to a point where it's like, okay, I mean, did you actually like the other ones? I don't get it, but you know.
I'm too busy enjoying myself to care if people are upset. I don't know. The other thing, I've seen a lot of complaints from people that they're upset about things that are just wrong. Like I've seen a lot of people, they're like, if it's bullshit that I'm forced to switch between styles, like, no, you're not. You can completely unbind the counter. You can play the entire outside of the tutorial where you have to become a samurai or have to become a ninja to pick up a ninja weapon. You could never play ninja or never play samurai. You could pick one and stick with it for the whole fucking game. You can unlink your burst counter from it. You can once you get to a certain point, you don't even need to use the burst counter because you can use your guardian spirit abilities to counter.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it was crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. So this one's an easy recommendation from the both of us. Like the game is absolutely awesome. Having a blast with it. Going to be streaming the crap out of it. And Cowboy's doing walkthroughs and all of the usual shenanigans that he does. How about those build guides when they're coming up? People are going to want to see that that build that you deleted the Act 1 boss.
I'm probably gonna actually I'm probably gonna try and do one soon since the walkthrough is kind of progressing. I think I'm going to take some time and just work through like my let's play build. But part of it too is you know,
it's going to be
just by
hard
the
for
nature
people
of
to
Nioh,
get access to a lot of that gear in the start. Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I don't remember where sets are. So I'd be doing a build and being like, yep, this is what you want. And they're going to be like, where do I get that set from? And I'll be like, oh, no.
Figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out. That's the big thing. All my builds, I'm like, you're going to need this. Where do I get that? Find it.
Good luck.
Yeah, play the game. Find it.
I found it. Look, you can find it too, I'm sure. Just keep exploring, find everything. Yeah. I think that's going to be one of the things that a lot of people are going to struggle with. If you're not the kind of guy that likes exploring the whole map to try and find everything, you're going to miss out on a lot of things because you're actively missing out on skills and stuff like that, martial arts for the weapons and, you know,
especially the modified skills. Like I just got, Mad Spinner for axe, you know, the one you hold the button. There's a modification you can get where it applies wind. Oh, you mean I just spin in circles over and over and whatever I hit is gonna get fucking blustered? Yep, let's go. So now I have guaranteed wind application with my axe anytime I want it. One of my favorites though, the axe. So you know the big fucking skeletons, how they have that like 4-hit axe spin. They did you burst counter, you're getting fucked up. We can get that 4 axe as a crucible skill. And I love it because I have Mad Spinner Wind on my low stance. And then I have that one on my mid stance. And as opposed to Mad Spinner, you know, we're only getting 4 spins. But the final hit of that thing
is the slam
like
down?
Fucking no, it's just this like final swing where he's like whoosh. So I've been using it.
A golf.
Like almost a golf swing. Yeah. Bro, 2,400 damage on the final hit of that axe.
That's crazy because of all the damage that comes before it. Yeah.
Yeah. After the podcast, I'll show you my fight against Shingen just so you can see what the axe does. He's just like, well, what's funny is I missed a loot. I get in the boss fight and I can see on my map a little Ambrita. And so I kill him and I'm like, well, we missed something. Gotta go get it. So I quit out, go get the loot, came back, and then I beat his ass a second time.
It's actually funny because due to the limit of the embargo, what I did was I streamed it until the point where I beat Shingen, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's all I can show. So I exit out of the game and I jump back in, and the game's like, well, you didn't kill him because you didn't speak with the NPC at the end of it. I was like, what? I have to go kill him again.
You have to actually talk to the NPC and warp to the new timeline to get an autosave.
Yeah, but that was the thing. I didn't get that, so I had to go back and kill him again. And I was like, oh my god, here we go again.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the walkthrough prep. I get to water sword him again. Hold up. I wanna let me just pull this up real fast. Let me pull this up and share it right now, just so you can see what happens to Shingen.
It's gonna mess up the video for the podcast. Don't do it now. You'll show me
because we can show. When does this podcast go live?
No, that's not it. It's gonna mess up with the capture window. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say because the embargo, we can show Shingen starting tomorrow. So like, the embargo is effectively done.
Yeah. No, you could show Shingen already.
Yeah.
You can show
but we
Shingen
can't go
already.
Like past
yeah,
Shingen.
you can't go past Shingen. Yeah. But yeah, Nioh 3, it's pretty friggin' awesome. It's a good start of the year. That's for damn sure. So guys, make sure to check it out. Definitely recommend checking out the demo at the very least if you're still undecided. But check out Cowboy for the walkthrough. I'm still doing the blind playthrough as the embargo lifts, I think tomorrow, whatever. I'm going to be live streaming that.
Yeah.
Well, depending on
go beyond Act 2
yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be some fun times. But that is going to be it. You also are hitting the gym pretty soon. So if you guys enjoyed today's podcast, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, bell notification icon, all of that jazz. There's going to be links to all things Cowboy in the description. We'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong. Stay safe. Peace out.